All right. So, hi everyone. I have Mehek with me, one of my online student, and to give you guys an idea in a nutshell, a BCom student who is not yet graduated, and she has actually conquered XLRI Jamshedpur. So she is now getting into Jamshedpur. She actually got into Jamshedpur without clearing her graduation. Commendable job. An amazing inspiration to all of you.
Thank you,
She will
sir.
definitely be sharing all the experiences, whatever the way she studied, and predominantly uska interview ka questions in XLRI, what she was asked. That was kind of an awkward question. I still remember. So yeah, Mehek, all over to you. Kindly, give us your introduction, and then we'll move ahead. So tell us something about yourself.
Okay, so as you've already told everyone that I'm a BCom student. I was studying in Jesus and Mary College in Delhi University, and I still have not received my final year mark sheet. So yeah, I'm not a graduate yet. And other than that, I prepared for, this was my first year I was preparing for CAT or other MBA entrance exams, and I got a 96.21 percentile in CAT and a 98.9 in XAT. So that's about it.
Nice. So when did you decide that when you said that I want to go for MBA because you're in last year, when you started your actual preparation, मतलब preparation तो हम बहुत पहले चालू कर देते, but serious mode कब आया था आपका?
So honestly, I started with थोड़ा बहुत help इधर उधर से in February, but the serious वाली preparation started in June.
Okay.
So June का जब vacation period होता है after the exams, I started with my preparation then. I stayed back in Delhi. I prepared my maths and DI. Then because I figured कि ये subjects जो हैं, they give you more marks if you make them your strength.
Okay.
So they're more scoring that way. उसके बाद I gave time to verbal. I gave time to LR. So
Okay.
that's how I went about it.
All right. So were you really keen on XAT, or you gave XAT as a kind of a backup? Because I mean, like, people, those who write CAT, they definitely go for, not necessarily they go for XAT and all that. So आपके केस में कैसा था ये?
So I always wanted to do something in human resources. I knew that this was where I wanted to go. So XLRI was a dream for me. It was a very obvious option, and it was a dream for me, honestly. So I did prepare for that as a very, as a very primary option for me. So.
Okay. What was your forte? I mean, like, was quants, DILR, or verbal? What was your, USP?
So honestly, while preparing, I figured I gave a lot of time to quant because I'm good in maths, and I figured that I'll be able to score more in that. But
Okay.
that is not what happened in the final exam. I scored more in the DILR section. I got a 99.2 percentile section there.
Brilliant, brilliant. So you got 99.20 in DILR. But just what in verbal? Like, what was your verbal ka score, and what was your this thing?
So मेरा verbal का score was 93.4 and quant का was 82 point something. I don't exactly remember the point.
Okay. So fair enough. So how, because you had your BCom to manage, side by side, right? So
yes,
college presentations and college homework, exam preparations and all that. So how much time you used to devote towards your CAT and XAT preparation on a daily basis? What was your schedule?
So like before June, I tried to give at least an hour or an hour and a half every day to the preparation. So
Okay.
I did not give a lot of time, but I tried to keep it consistent. Any time during the day, at least an hour or an hour and a half for the preparation.
Okay.
और since it's not a very it's not something जो बहुत ज़्यादा तुम्हारा mind share ले, because these are the concepts that you somewhere or the other studied while doing your 10th or while doing your 12th.
Very true.
So I tried to do it before going to sleep probably, or after coming from college. So that was the time I used to give to my preparation for CAT. After June, I started giving more time. Like in June, I probably gave all my time for the preparation for this thing. And after that, when my colleges started, I think I gave around 2.5 hours to this thing on an average a day.
Okay, but I think you were consistent. Like every day, you hit a point that you'll study.
Yes, sir. I think that the thing that helped me the most was consistency. Because if you are consistent, तुम्हारा एक routine बन जाता है, and then you are able to get into the flow of the get into the flow.
So did your CAT ka preparation complement your XAT ka exam and all that? Like, what was the difference? Because both of them are on different level altogether.
That's true, sir. But I think like preparing for CAT ka verbal portion and quant wala portion, that's pretty much sufficient आपका XAT के लिए.
Okay.
जो decision making section होता है, that is also I feel a very logical section. कि
Okay.
you should know कि what is a logical way of thinking in this particular situation, whatever situation is given to you.
True.
So I think that थोड़ा सा तुम्हें strategy बनानी different होती है for that, and it's more of कि तुम्हें कौन से portions हैं जो तुम्हें अपनी strengths बनानी है for this particular exam. Okay. But the material is more or less the same, so obviously the preparation for CAT helps.
Okay, and how many mocks you give, like for CAT and XAT? Like, what was your mock number? Like, kitne? Like 10, 15, 20?
So I think I gave around 20 to 25 mocks for
each?
No, for CAT, and XAT ke liye I think I gave 4-5 extra CAT ke baad.
That's it, and you got more in XAT compared to CAT by giving the lesser mocks.
Yes, sir.
Fair enough. Okay. So you got call from which all IIMs? I think you've got call from IIM Kozhikode, Lucknow,
Yes, sir.
if I'm not. So what all calls you have?
So, sir, I have calls from Kozhikode, Indore, Shillong, CAPS. Then XLRI, I got call from BM and HRM both.
Okay.
Uske alawa, the rest of the I got calls from MDI and IIFT.
Okay.
And also from NMIMS, IMT Ghaziabad, and the rest.
I still remember you converted couple of IIMs and you converted XLRI, and then you called me up and you were like, sir, now I'm getting confused. Log bol rahe IIM ka brand hai, abhi XLRI bhi hua hai. I still remember we had that conversation in the evening, but yeah, it's ultimately XLRI. Even I had couple of my batchmates, they got into A, but then for the fact, they really wanted to get into Excel, rather they wanted to do something really, on a very high level in HR. So they opted for XLRI eventually. So they kind of gave up on ABC and they went for XLRI. So that's the right choice that you've made. Now, coming back to your GDPI experience,
yes,
how
sir.
was it, and how did you do it?
So, sir, after basically, this is 5th June को I remember हमारा CAT का result आ गया था. So I figured कि उसके बाद जैसे कि एक certain number of institutions से तो तुम्हें call आएगा ही, so you start preparing for them. So that was the time I started preparing for my GDPI part. I started with the HR questions, which you call them.
Right.
So you take a few days, तुम अपने आप को you retrospect कि तुमने क्यों किया, क्यों दिया exams,
right.
Like all those questions, like tell me something about yourself, who are you, तुम्हें क्यों देना है, what do you want to do with the degree that you get in the future, all those things. So it takes time to make answers क्योंकि तुम इतना ज़्यादा decide करके initially नहीं चलते हो.
Absolutely.
So that takes time. उसके बाद then I figured कि मेरा GK is not a very strong part, so I had to give a lot of time to that. और somewhere or the other मुझे उस चीज को cover भी करना होगा, because you cannot become a master in GK just in 4-5 days or in just a month or two. So उस चीज को cover भी कहीं ना कहीं करना है. So that was a process that went along side by side. जैसे GDPI के calls आते रहे, जैसे वो मैं interviews देती रही. So that I kept on developing myself.
Okay.
With every interview.
All these interviews, which one was really stressful, or which one was like really, oh my god, kind of an interview? What was that one?
So I remember that XLRI ka VM was a very stressful interview. That was a real stress interview for me.
Yes, a lot of weird questions, isn't it? Like,
a lot.
Too much.
So basically, our GD topic was that should abortion be legal in India?
Oh.
So that is a very controversial topic, to be honest. Or after the GD and the VAT on the same topic, my complete interview was also about discussing on this topic. Why did you say this in the GD? तुमने ये क्यों कहा? अगर तुम इस situation में होती तो तुम क्या करती? Then they gave me more situations about some random people कि अगर ये situation में होता तो क्या होता? how can you justify your stance is situation. So it was a very stressful thing that way, because you know, अगर तुमने कोई stance लिया, then you need to stick to it somewhere, but तुम्हें फिर उसको justify भी करना होता है, and यहाँ पे जो भी तुम्हारे stance होते हैं, they are not always justifiable in all the cases.
That's right.
So
That's right. What's your suggestion, or kind of anything that you want to tell people? Because like you, why you're a great inspiration, because along with your studies you have managed to knock off the IIMs and the XLRI. I mean, like, these are like the elite institutes of the country, and people die to get into these institutes. Now it's not only that they want to get into these institutes, but if you look at the kind of hard work that requires to make it to these B schools, is something really on a very high level. So commendable job, because people take 1 year gap, 2 year gap, they're not able to still crack those B schools. You did it along with your graduation, so hats off to you. So people who are in your shoe, like gonna be in your shoe next year, those who are in now second year, got passed out and now moving towards the last year, what's your advice for them? That's number one. And number two, predominantly for commerce ka bacha log, non-engineers, because most of the time people feel that engineers are making it to IIMs and Excel and all that. You being, a non-engineer, what's your advice, and what are those tricks and tips that you want to share with those people?
So the first thing that I would like to say is that all topics or all the subjects, if you would say, that you study for the MBA entrance exams, they are very interesting, and they somewhere or the other enrich you for the kind of experience that you will be having in the institute, in the MBA institute that you're going to. So it's like more, rather than putting pressure on yourself कि तुम्हें ये करना है, even though you're not good in maths, because I've seen a lot of people who are not good in maths and they put a lot of pressure on themselves कि हमारा तो होगा ही नहीं CAT. And like, rather than putting pressure on yourself, I think that you should enjoy जो तुम पढ़ रहे हो, because these are the topics जो तुमने कहीं ना कहीं पढ़ रहे हो, and you just need to get a hang of why are such type of questions being asked to you in those exams. What is the point of putting such questions forth? So वो चीज समझ के अगर तुम लोग ये पढ़ते हो, if you start preparing for the exam, then I think that you will be on, तुम्हें इतना प्रेशर नहीं पड़ेगा, एंड देन यू विल अंडरस्टैंड कि तुम ये चीज क्यों पढ़ रहे हो, एंड देन तुम एक बहुत लॉजिकल फ्लो से उस चीज को कवर कर पाओगे, लाइक व्हाटएवर थिंग दैट यू आर डूइंग. और उसके अलावा आई वुड लाइक टू सजेस्ट कि अपनी लाइक डू एवरीथिंग. मैंने आई डिड all the society work. I was a part of many programs in college alongside, and uske baad I kept my college studies abreast with the studies of CAT and XAT. तो फिर सब कुछ मैनेज हो जाएगा. Do not prioritize करो काम को, but that does not mean कि एक ही चीज को अपना सारा का सारा लाइफ बना लो, and then तुम्हारे पास कुछ और नहीं है करने को, then you get involved with this thing too much कि तुम कुछ भी और सोच पाओ, and then वो कहीं ना कहीं टोल ले लेता है on you as a person, and also तुम्हारी जो studies हैं जो तुम कर रहे हो. तो फिर that is something जो तुम्हें manage करके चलना है सब कुछ साथ में, तो हो जाएगा.
Okay, fair. And the last question: how my classes, my mentorship, video lectures, all these things, how it helped you?
So I remember July, August ke around, my mom introduced me to your lectures.
Yes, I know that.
So वो एक बहुत ज़्यादा systematic सा आपको idea दे देते हैं that how to go about. जैसे verbal में I remember आपका lecture I heard, और उसके बाद मेरे को एक जैसे I understood कि वो like why are certain passages जैसे वो पूछना क्या चाहते हैं वो passages के questions डाल के, और वो passages read करके तुम्हें क्या actually find करना है. like सबसे पहले you understand the tone of the passage, then you understand कि उस question से वो पूछ कर रहे हैं, why are they posing that question, तो फिर it's easier for you to find the answer. So it was very helpful for me. I remember the verbal thing. उसके बाद I started following your lectures on a regular basis.
And how was the GDPI thing worked out for you?
So the GDPI lectures, I remember so I remember this one particular lecture in which you told us how to go about tell me something about yourself. तो उसमें So उस time I was very confused कि exactly क्या बोलें, कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है, इतना कुछ है और कुछ भी नहीं है honestly बताने को. अभी तो graduate है, fresher है, हमारे पास work experience भी नहीं है. तो उसमें I remember आपने बोला था कि काफी genuine रहने की जरूरत है तुम्हें, because they figure out तुम्हें एक second में they understand कि क्या हो तुम as a person.
Right.
And you need to be very calm and very genuine. तुम्हें देखना है कि तुम क्या हो, तुम्हारी strengths and weaknesses पहचानो और उस चीज को simply put forward करो. That is all you need to do. So that is something that helped me a lot. उसके बाद I remember मेरे HR questions भी track पे आ गए थे. So
Cool. So eventually everything worked out very well for you. And I'm very sure 10 years down the line from today onwards, if it will be catch up or if it will be speak, I think I'm going to talk to some head HR of some like Fortune 600-700 companies or probably one of the best Indian companies. So I'm very sure I definitely wanted to reach that heights and level. And being an Excel alumni, you will be at that level. So thank you so much for your time today. And you're going to be an inspiration to a lot of girls out there and for the guys also definitely. So good job, commendable job. And I wish you all the very
thank
best
you, sir.
for your future and do well in Excel as well. And
Thank
if you
you,
need
sir.
any
Thank
help,
you,
I'm
sir.
always going to be there, no doubt.
Definitely.
Cool. Thank you so much, Mehek, for coming today. Thank you.